During a recent interview, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau admitted that the left bothers him more than the right, which I find just incredible. So first here, this story from The Star. Justin Trudeau was attacked from the political left and right during this year's election campaign, but he says it was the casual cynicism of the left that bugged him the most. Quote, "To be honest, what hit me harder on a really personal level was not the anger and the anti-everything of the far right, so much as the casual cynicism of the left," Trudeau said during a lengthy interview on Monday. Now, I have more quotes to get to in a second here, but man, this says a lot about Trudeau. White nationalists, bigotry, racism, anti-vax propaganda, right-wing violence that even he was the victim of during the election campaign. A People's Party member threw a stone at him at one of his campaign stops. All of that doesn't stand out in Trudeau's mind, no. For Trudeau, the left holding him to account is what bugs him most. It is just amazing that, I mean, there's that saying, cut a liberal and a fascist bleeds. Well, Trudeau is essentially admitting here that he's more comfortable with fascists than with the left. More here from The Star. Though he says he took it personally, he says it's not a poor prime minister lament or a plea for a pat on the back. Trudeau believes that, quote, "you did nothing" refrain cuts deeper. It turns people off the idea of government altogether. Quote, it undercuts everything we're trying to do, he says, and its logical conclusion is voter apathy. This is, again, goes to show you how twisted his view is here. It's not that he failed people. It's not that he isn't doing enough to help people's lives. It's that people are pointing it out. That's what generates voter apathy. Not his failures, but people recognizing his failures, his broken promises. That's the issue. Like, so just a few examples here on his broken promises. Affordable housing, of course, completely out the window. Clean drinking water on all First Nations reserves, broken promise. Electoral reform, broken promise, and was not revisited in the next election. Ending fossil fuel subsidies, broken promise. So, and by the way, there are countless. You can go here to this page. I'll link to below the video, or just if you search up Trudeau broken promises, I'm sure you'll come across this. But you can go read through them. There are a lot of broken promises. Of course, almost all of them have to do with issues that the left, that progressives are fighting for. So a lot of issues deal, of course, with economic policy. All broken promises. But pointing that out bothers him more than the right and their racism, their bigotry, their violence. It's incredible. So, like, this is ultimately, I think, why the left bothers him more, is because he knows that the left is correct. He knows that their criticisms are right. I mean, when it comes to the right wing and what they throw at him, it's largely bullshit. And he knows that. A lot of us know that. He knows a lot of voters know that most people don't believe the right wing bullshit. But when it comes to the left and their criticism, we don't lie. We tell the truth. We are honest about what he has failed on. So that, because we expose his failures, that bothers him more than what the right is doing. Even though what the right is doing arguably has clearly has a much more direct impact on people's lives. Looking at stuff like anti-vax or bigotry, racism, right-wing violence has a real direct impact on people's lives. All the left is doing is pointing out the failures and what needs to be done. But he's more bothered by that because it exposes what is wrong with him and his party. And also the left exposes what is wrong with society and what needs to be done to fix it. And he is unwilling to do what needs to be done.